Battle systems in JRPGs are the defining feature that not only influence the way that you play the game, but also shapes your overall experience and engagement with the story. It's been really interesting to see combat systems and battle systems evolve over the years. However, there have been some distinct and unique approaches that not only enhance the gameplay, but also reflect the creative ambitions of developers. There are some battle systems that are just different, and I really like that. So in today's video, we're going to be discussing some unique battle systems in some of my favorite JRPGs, and I have a couple of surprise picks here for you, so make sure you watch the entire video. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to comment down below. Let me know if you like some of these picks or if you have anything else to add, because I'm sure that I'm missing quite a few, but these are just my favorites. Let's get to number one. This is one that you should be looking out for and be excited to play. Let's start with one I really loved, and I hope you will all enjoy when it comes out on consoles later this year. Fantasian. The battle system of Fantasian is a turn-based JRPG with a unique twist. Battles take place on a 3D battlefield where characters and enemies are positioned in a way that adds a spatial element to combat. One of the basic elements of Fantasian's battle system is that melee attacks will kind of go in a straight line, but magic and abilities can be curved, offering you the chance to bypass groups of enemies or attack a lot of them at the same time. While some melee attacks can pierce, other enemy types can block piercing attacks from passing through them. Certain bosses will also employ mechanics that will block attacks unless properly aimed and timed. And one of the standout features of Fantasian is the Dimension system, device that lets you skip random battles by capturing the monsters you would have encountered and storing them up for later. Once you hit the maximum amount of monsters, which I think is like 30, you have to fight them all in one battle, and that's where the fun begins, by making quick work of the enemies with special attacks. It's a really great way to just continue exploring and put off battles, but yeah, you do have to fight them eventually. I've often said on my channel here that I really enjoyed the conditional turn-based battle system of Final Fantasy X, and that's what I think seems to carry over here, which makes sense considering Hironobu Sakaguchi is at the helm of this game. Fantasian offers a really great twist of the classic turn-based battle system, so please make sure to check that out when it comes to consoles later in the year. Next up, we have Arc the Lad on PS1, which is a tactical turn-based RPG, which happens to be one of my favorite underrated games on this system. And this one really deserves the HD 2D treatment, so please, let's make this happen. Battles occur on a grid-based map where players control the party of characters, each with their own unique abilities and movement ranges. Characters take turns based on their speed stats, moving across the grid to position themselves for attacks or to use unique skills. Positioning is also very important, as attacks have specific ranges and areas of effect, which requires you to strategize placement to maximize damage and of course minimize exposure to enemy attacks. The battle system is not solely melee based. Each character has a wide array of abilities, including magic, spells, and special techniques that can damage enemies, heal allies, or enhance stats, the usual kind of stuff, and these abilities are chosen through an ability wheel. It's super straightforward once you get going. It's really fun and addictive in a way like Fire Emblem, but with more movement. I think battles play out much quicker because of this. This is a great one. I really highly recommend you check out this game. One of my favorite games to be re-released or remastered or HD 2D'ized, whatever you want to call it, Live Alive, that's how I say it, is a great combination of turn-based and tactical RPG elements. Both you and the enemies will be able to move in a 7x7 grid. Each character has a unique set of abilities which can affect different areas of the grid, requiring careful planning to maximize effectiveness. The battle system here encourages strategic thinking, as positioning characters optimally and using attacks correctly can turn the tide of battle. Additionally, each character has their own way to play, and within every scenario, it's super fun to figure out how to best use each character, because by the end of the game, everyone teams up to defeat the evil of the game. It's a really fun adventure thanks to the addictive blend of turn-based and tactical gameplay. Might be one of the more unique ones in this video. Ah yes, one of the best JRPGs ever, Xenoblade Chronicles. Now, I realize the battle system of Xenoblade Chronicles more or less transitions over to the newer games in the series, but this is where it all started, and this is my favorite one out of the entire series as well. The battle system of Xenoblade Chronicles is a real-time, action-based system with a unique blend of strategy. You take control of Shulk, while the other party members are controlled by AI, following the tactics set by you. The game features an auto-attack mechanic where characters automatically attack enemies when within range. Special abilities or arts are used manually and require cooldown periods before they can be reused. Positioning is also really important in combat here, as certain arts are more effective when executed from specific angles relative to the enemy. For instance, some attacks deal extra damage when delivered from behind or from the side. Additionally, you must manage the aggro system, which determines which character the enemies will target. Characters playing the tank role are designed to draw and maintain enemy attention, while other characters deal damage or provide support from safer positions. One of the standout features of the battle system is the ability to chain arts together to create powerful combos. This involves breaking the enemy's stance, toppling them to the ground, and then dazing them to render them helpless. So yeah, make sure you do this because this is the key to victory in every battle. One of the other things that I really enjoy is the party gauge, which fills as the party lands successful attacks and executes well-timed maneuvers. A full party gauge allows for the execution of chain attacks, which is really fun, where all the characters launch coordinated series of attacks leading to a lot of damage. Very helpful for the bosses of the game. And of course, we have the vision system where Shulk can glimpse future enemy attacks. This foresight allows for you to prepare and counter powerful attacks, adding anticipation and preemptive strategy to the battles. It's really fun and something we don't see in any other battle systems, really. Overall, the battle system in Xenoblade Chronicles combines real-time action with deep tactical considerations, emphasizing positioning, teamwork, and use of abilities to overcome bosses with lots of health. It's very MMO-inspired IMO, and I really enjoyed it the most out of all the Xenoblade games. Now, the next game is really interesting, and I guarantee that nobody is seeing this one coming. It's going to be really funny. I can't wait to see what you guys think. But before we get to that, don't forget to like and subscribe here because 82% of the people that watch my channel on the regular are not subscribed. So if you like weekly Final Fantasy and JRPG content, hey, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you and see you week in and week out. Anyway, next game is Quest 64. Quest 64, man, it's a game that gets way too much hate in my opinion. And do I love Quest 64? No, but I also have a very nostalgic and soft spot in my heart for it. So that's why we're going to talk about it here, albeit briefly. Quest 64 has a pretty unique twist on the turn-based battle system. When a battle begins, both you and the enemies can move freely within a restricted area. And during each turn, you can choose from 4 elemental spells, earth, wind, water, or fire, to attack or defend. Each spell has distinct ranges and effects, making strategic positioning really important. You can also use items and healing for support, typical stuff. And you gain experience by using spells or attacking, which enhances the specific elemental affinities and overall stats. So this battle system here combines traditional turn-based mechanics with a focus on movement and spell usage. At the same time, you can also just go through the entire game by attacking as well if you manage to grind that heavily. Do I recommend you do that? Absolutely not. You know what? I like Quest 64. I respect it for what it did. Greatest game of all time? Absolutely not. Another favorite here is Grandia. Battle system in Grandia games combines turn-based and real-time elements, creating a really engaging and strategic experience that, if you haven't played yet, you will absolutely love. The core of Grandia's battle system revolves around the initiative bar, or the IP bar, which represents the order in which characters and enemies take their turns. Each character and enemy has their own icon on the bar, which moves from left to right as time progresses. Unlike traditional turn-based RPGs, actions in Grandia are executed based on the character's position on the initiative bar. Characters can perform various actions such as attacks, skills, or items, but they must wait until their turn reaches the command phase. The most standout feature of Grandia's battle system is the ability to interrupt and cancel an enemy's action. By attacking or using certain skills on an enemy while they are in the prepare phase, players can delay or cancel the enemy's attack. This feature alone is what really sold me on the battle system because you really have to time your actions carefully with the possibility of disrupting the enemy plans. This battle system here should be praised for its blend of real-time and turn-based mechanics, the strategic depth of canceling and combos, the interplay between character and enemy actions on the initiative bar. These elements come together to create a really dynamic and engaging combat experience that sets Grandia apart from more traditional RPGs, and of course why it's making the unique battle system video today. Now, while it's not my favorite game in the series, I do have a lot of respect for Final Fantasy XII and what it did for the battle system. Final Fantasy XII is a departure from the traditional turn-based combat battle system used in earlier titles. It's called the Active Dimension battle system, blending real-time and turn-based elements, and players here can freely move their characters and issue commands. Now, I think this was really the best way to continue the MMO-style combat as seen in Final Fantasy XI. Now, like Xenoblade, a lot of it is very automated, and this is all thanks to the Gambit system, which allows players to set up automated behavior for party members based on what's happening in battles. For example, you can set your main attacker to attack and the other 2 party members to auto-heal once an ally's HP is lower than 50%, or automatically revive, or automatically use black magic. And you can expand the amount of gambits you have over time as well, so you can find yourself pretty much prepared for any battle scenario, and you really don't even have to lift a finger. So yes, while you control one character directly, AI manages everything else with the option to switch controls at any time. Now, one other thing that I really like about Final Fantasy XII is the license board, which is similar to the sphere grid in Final Fantasy X. This is a grid unlocked with license points earned from battles, and this is a really great way to upgrade your characters. Final Fantasy XII is Again, it's not my favorite game, but I really respect what it did. That's a pretty cool approach to how you play Final Fantasy. Last is the newest game of the video, and a game I'm currently on my second playthrough of, which is Like a Dragon: Infinite Wealth. Now, if you've played the previous game in the series, which is Like a Dragon, you'll probably already be familiar with some of the battle system here, which is more or less turn-based, but it's improved in a lot of ways. Now, this isn't your typical turn-based game, because here you have the ability to move around within a smaller circle when it's your turn. Is this borrowing from Quest 64? You know what? It kind of is. Quest 64 did it first. Anyway, this allows you to get certain bonuses on attacks, like proximity bonuses, or do back attacks for greater damage, or even use items to attack with. You can also aim to send enemies flying towards objects or other characters for knockback damage. Not only do you have elemental damage, but you've also got weapon-based weaknesses like weak to projectiles or knives. It's actually pretty deep, and I encourage you to scroll through the menus and see what attacks are going to do more damage. This also applies to objects you can throw or use in battle as well. Some of them have elemental damage associated, so keep an eye out on the battlefield. Joining the fray for Infinite Wealth, which I'm really stoked about, is Kiryu Kazuma, the protagonist for most of the series and the face of the franchise as far as I'm concerned. Kiryu has 3 different attack styles, which are similar to some of the other games in the series, and each attack style has its own benefit. It's a really great way to bring his fighting style into a turn-based type of game. And later in the game, you get the ability to press R2, which is like a super attack, turning a turn-based game into a more street brawler type game that Yakuza is known for. So you can just pretty much go for any enemy, combo them, finish them. It's great, totally unleashing everything you've got. It's a really great callback to the Yakuza series. I absolutely love this game and the gameplay. So there you go. There's a few unique twists on the traditional turn-based battle system. I'm sure I missed a ton of games, so please let me know down below in the comments what games you like with unique turn-based battle systems. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you again on the next video. Thanks for watching.